Welcome everyone. My name is Melissa at melissabrace.com. Today we're going to do a little bit of a channeling. I have been nudged to get back into doing a few YouTubes here and there and sharing a little bit. So thought I would get back with it. And this one's for the empaths. The empaths and the starseeds and the indigos and the crystalline children and the healers and the teachers and the ministers and the light beings, the love beings all around us, the people with their hearts open and here with, highest good intent for helping this world, bringing us home. Thought I would pull a couple cards just to start with. Wow. And I started with the Starseeds card. Get a little bit of a theme going before I channel. I'm not sure who's going to come through. I've just been feeling the purpose being starseed, empaths. So I used the starseed cards, and the card I got was, let's see if we can see that. Advancement. And the card says, a strong energy is propelling you forward. Follow the stirrings of your heart. That's a message I've been getting a lot lately, is to listen to my heart. Listen to my heart. All of it, yes, we have to be discerning and choose and balance and everything in our mind and thought. But I keep getting the message to listen to my heart. And over these last months and days, I realized I was busy. And that was one of my pieces of shadow work, is that I would close down and keep out loving things sometimes because I was frightened. So I've been working on that for a while. I know that's not just me. So I think it's an awesome thing to start with the listen to our hearts in our advancement. Because this is very much this, I know whatever information and messages we are going to receive will be about advancement. I didn't even know that card was in there. I don't know if I've ever chosen that one before in the Starseed card. We'll pull a couple more cards to see if there's anything to go along with our theme. And then we'll start the channeling, okay? See what we got. What's good for all of us today? What can help us advance and be in alignment with our highest good? Embrace. Of course it's embrace. 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 Ready to channel, everyone? I'm going to hold some selenite so we can stay in really high vibrational energy. I've got some crystals and I've got some pink quartz. I am feeling Mother Mary energy and Mary Magdelene. Thank you. But I'm feeling a lot of the star beings, and what they're first starting out with is saying welcome and greetings, and they send great love to each and every one of our hearts and all of our energy systems. Source light, source love. And they want to remind us that we are very, very supported in these times. And if you have been feeling anxious or discomfort or out of place or like you don't belong, or things are coming up in you that you did not realize, shocking, surprising things that you didn't realize you had in you, that is, it's really a part of what's going on in humanity. They're saying we're going through a big portal or opening that is bringing us into the next level of energy, the earth energy. So we're talking about the earth and our surrounding areas, ascension time. So as we shift and grow every day, there are new energies and strong energies bringing us into different levels and frequencies. So if you're really tired, if you feel really doubtful, if you feel really blue, if you feel, alone, these are symptoms of us clearing away some of the, what we would call the distortions and wounds in us all. It's a symptom of the old matrix and the old matriarchy inside of us and outside of us crumbling so that we can come into the new higher frequencies. So be gentle with yourselves and know that you are loved and free. Know that you are free. Mother Mary just wants to bring us just like almost like a little kiss and wave of unconditional love to nurture us and bring us into nurtured, supported, loving balance. So Mother Mary Magdalene are speaking together. Thank you. At this time, saying, we are watching you as you generate as your consciousness further ahead into coming to your true divine magic, which would be your divinity and your own divinity. So there would be the three pieces of us coming together into wholeness, coming home. And they just want to say that we are doing good, and we're all going through some times where we are, like, it's almost like a big shuffling, like if we were shuffling cards, shuffling time, where we are all being guided and directed. The way they're saying it's making me giggle, because I'm like, shuffling cards, really? Like, okay. Shuffling to be around, to be in connection, so that in these next days, weeks, months, and years, our directions and guidance toward what makes our heart happiest, and that which sometimes we know inside, but we have been just blocked. We haven't been able to get there. We don't know how to make it happen. We don't know how to figure it out. We've been shuffled. The hand of God, the light of God, the light incoming light quotients, and the way things are happening in the heavens are not only changing, they're calling it the changing of the guard again. This is just a something, the best way that I could understand. So what they're saying, the changing of the guard is happening even more and more, shifting. So that the changing of the guard would be, like in the military, if you would change the guards, you would change the whoever's in these two positions who stand watch right here, at the watchtower. The changing of the guard would be when their time's up, they get to go home and relax and put their feet up and have a beer, and then the new guards come in. Or it could be like the changing of the president or changing of the coach of the football team. So there's been an enormous shuffle in the heavens that our human minds cannot comprehend, most of us. And so the changing of the guard is occurring inside and outside of us. And as humanity, as we go into each one of our lives and our neighborhoods and our communities, and then our cities and states and provinces and countries, and there's changing of the guard going on and that we cannot say underneath of a lot of things. So empaths, if you're feeling uncomfortable, like if something's up, that is true. And we might all be going through some painful times. I know I'm usually pretty good at least most of the time, I'm pretty good at going, okay, there's, that's going to come through. I'm not going to let that stick on me, and I'm not going to linger too long on this particular thing or this particular thing. But if we are all feeling uncomfortable and stuck or surprised in a bad way about what we're dealing with or going through, or feeling behind, just please know that it's part of the changing of the guard, and that is absolutely untrue. And so in our own selves, we are working on recognizing the distortions or the things in us that have caused us pain or worry or stress. That could be old belief systems, that could be wounds, traumas, that could be past lives. And I would like to say that I just do not care for some of my soul group that I've worked with, that I came here to work with. I've been a little resistant in the last 6 or 8 months on a particular project. So a lot of us are here for particular, we are aware of some of our particular missions and purposes. So one of mine is energy work and really understanding structures. It comes in scientific and colorful ways, frequency ways, musical ways, structures around us. And so in one of my big particular soul groups, it has been brutal neutrals. Like, this has been hardcore. Whew. So I don't care for a couple of my soul tribe people here. Soul group people here. But in the shuffling, she sang, that's funny when I tell a story, but that is not the point. So move along, lady. She sang that, this is Mother Mary, saying that the point is in the shuffling. Not that we're being shuffled, like, ha ha ha. You thought you should live on, 74th Street, but now, ha ha ha, we're shuffling at you. It's not that. It's just shuffling the structures, the old paradigms, the structures in us, the old wounds. And it's been a time of enormous healing and transmutation of some old pieces in each one of us, as well as collectively. So I keep getting enormous messages about that in the last month, all through lockdowns and COVIDs and things like that. She's saying we're all being shuffled. And in the shuffling, we are going to find a renewal with some of our friends, family, and loved ones. The ones we know we're supposed to know, the ones we know, our children, our family, or sometimes our mates, sometimes our friends. And sometimes there will just be a shuffling, that not that we don't love them deeply, and they're not the most important people, but we will be shuffled where our frequencies match with others better. So we're being shuffled in our true divine paths. And some of that might feel uncomfortable right now, if at the very least, or challenging. And many of us are being triggered in some ways, painful ways. Those are to be seen and transmuted. But we are being shuffled to be around our true soul tribe and family. And that we've all inside, all of us that are heart-centered and heart-based. Not that we don't have issues and problems and say dumb things sometimes, but we've all been calling inside in truly all of our lives, maybe like a lot of lifetimes, calling inside to our true home, which is in ourselves, home, divinity, our sacred truth, alignment with God, source, the light, the universe. But we're being nudged and pushed one step closer to that. And we might find other like-minded people, kindred people with our same purposes, and we'll be brought together, sometimes surprisingly, and sometimes we've known for a long time, and it's taken us a long time. Long, strange trip it's been to get back to each other. So sometimes it'll be new people that we've never met in this time and place before, but we're being shuffled to our directions a little bit better. Please know that when I'm doing channeling, that I know that these are they're like on wavelengths, kind of like the radio, And so I've got a grouping coming in. It's the Lyran Council collective. And they just want you to know that we are loved. And they want to bring some gentle peace and deep knowledge. So if any of you have been feeling, I don't know why this is, I don't know how this is relevant at all. I'm supposed to say, if any of you have been feeling some like remembrances or flashes, downloads of knowledges and truths and magics. And again, when I say magics, I don't mean like magic spells. Those the movies of the old school power struggle magic spells. But there's the light and the dark energies around us, albeit they are not in existence in the higher frequencies at all. Part of stuck to humanity, our matrix is stuck to us, and we're learning how to become free from these things. Just please know that your true divine magic, which is your true inner senses and your true spark, connection, self-love, is rising. So you may feel a new kind of love for yourself and others coming in these next weeks, days, months. So please know that they are saying that we have done a good job. And if you find yourself thinking of past lives or thinking like, I think I do belong in another dimension, and don't know what that means, but I think I do. And that can be part of your frequency arising. And they're saying that humanity is doing a really good job, even though perhaps if we look outside, we would not say that about ourselves. Ouch. There's some ugliness sometimes still. Thank you. So this Lyran, Lyran, if you want to look it up. Lyran Council says if you remember in different eras and times on our planet, and we can go all the way back to places that we don't, like human beings' history, don't quite get or remember. But perhaps we could think of like 6,000 years ago in Egypt. They're saying it was plush and different then, and the mindsets and people were different, and then there were star beings that were, of course, have always been involved in humanity. And they're saying that we will see them differently, and it says in these last years, our human minds can only comprehend things in certain ways. It's almost like movies, like what's the right word? Descriptions, movies, definitions. Our definitions and our descriptions and our views will advance, because we're going back to that advancement. This is about advancement, and each one of us are advancing and expanding. So our views and ideas and just as we have over the last, I'm serious, like over the last 3-4 years, in our different families, groups, we've expanded in the ways we describe things. So we go back 10 years and the words are all different. And we go back 20 years and the words are all different. We are expanding, and let's call it the evolution. And so they just are saying, just not be prepared, like, hold on, be prepared, but more like be prepared for some really beautiful unfoldings in each of us as we come through these portals and openings, so that we see our true selves more clearly, and we become more aligned in our crystalline bodies more adeptly, and we can, each one of us can handle the higher frequencies better. And they're saying it in such a way like, don't forget to remember that love, divine love, we will recognize it in a more full, whole, complete way, as we will recognize ourselves in more whole and complete ways, as we clear away the distortions and the pains and the sufferings and the imbalances in us, There's not a single person on the planet that doesn't have some old school, dark ages, pain structures, stuff in their DNA, thoughts, things like that. We're all working on it. So consciousness is arising and advancing, and you will be able to see it in each one of us. Freedom. I've been really musical lately. A long time ago, it was just, I just like art, creation, music, and color. Very colorful. And music, I could always feel the music. I played the cello and piano, and for a little while the guitar. But a long time ago, I decided on the to do spiritual path and do the. I chose a long time ago, like I was 21, 22, 23 years old, and I gave away my Stratocaster and said, okay, I'm going to do energy work, unseen things, and that I was called to do inside. So I did. And lately, especially in the last few years, and really been drawn to music. So I could at any moment, come on, start singing. Might not be good all of the time, but you can feel their frequencies. So what we got? The Lyran Council would like us to know that we're all supported, and they're interesting. So if you're feeling remembrances from knowledges and truths, just know that those are true. We're all distorted. It takes us a minute to understand what things mean, and then our belief systems, they'll grow, and keep focused on highest good thought, and that will help us. And if you're having trouble, and I know I have off and on, focusing on positive. It's not like I've always made fun of all the it's a little embarrassing because I've done the psychic medium cosmic energy frequency work for 30 years, but every once in a while in my sarcasm will say, if people don't understand that we have to look at the darkness inside of us and around us, and they can just sing Kumbaya in the yard and they're all okay, they can tell you like, let go. And I make fun of that on occasion. It is my own issue. I'm not trying to make fun of anyone. Because I sure wish I could have said, sure, I'll just let go. And it would have been as easy as that. And, sing a little song, and I would just be perfect. But not so much. Keep growing together. Hey, and by the way, and all those sessions and stuff for a very long time, because they're showing me what they're explaining is as we understand frequency work, it will help us heal our mind, body, spirit. So our bodies, like illnesses and our PTSDs or emotional pain or the betrayals or the possibly the overthinkings over the years, and that can be, that's a big subject. So we might not all understand it right at this moment, but over time, the frequencies are going to help us stay in the higher frequencies so that we are more in balance and home or whole or our true God self